you just committed a crime, and I'm going to frame you.
Move, or you're turned into Swiss cheese. You're
I'll
committing
kill
war
you.
crimes, sir.
Welcome back to Bench Warmers. My name is Will,
I'm Stephen.
and we are talking
So
extensively.
Is it like a pep rally? Is that what you're trying to go with, I guess?
I don't know. I'm a little low energy, so I'm trying to like pump it up a little bit. A little sleepy. I could use a nap.
It's at 6 o'clock at night.
I know. It's bedtime after this, actually. This is episode 3 of season 2 called Framed. And it's about Kevin, 11, framing Benjamin Tennyson. It's Benjamin, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what his middle name is?
Something 9.
9?
9 and 10, you know.
Benjamin Benign 10.
Benign Tennyson. Kevin 11's back, making an appearance.
This is where we get Kevin proper. Like
Oh, yeah.
the
Cool
rest,
Kevin.
Cool Kevin. This is the, like,
Coolsville.
like that meme where it's like, it's something and then cooler something.
Yeah.
Daniel, cooler Daniel.
Yeah. It's Kevin, cooler Kevin. I think he's cool too, so he's like, he's beating up the guy at the end. He goes, because you couldn't handle the neutron style. Yeah, so the show opens up. They're waiting in line for the newest Sumo Slammer video game. It's not even like a sequel. It's like when
like
they
a
did,
remix, like
yeah, it's like a
2.1.
DLC essentially.
Yeah.
Or when they tried to sell like the Miles Morales edition of Spider-Man 1
Yeah.
and they marketed it as a whole new game.
Yeah, it's
So
essentially
Sumo
just DLC.
Slammers 2.1 is what he said.
It reminded me a lot of like when they do Marvel vs. Capcom
Yeah.
and they do like, set the 3.1 or 3A or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And like his only justification for buying the game was that you could change color in between. Like you can change color whenever you want to
Right.
during the game. Maybe color denotes some sort of mechanic in the game.
But thoughtless parents will buy that for their 8-year-old kid who.
Ben sat in line, assumedly a long time.
Why is there a line?
It was like, you remember when
Yeah,
GameStops used to have stuff like
For
that?
good games, not a skin change in a
Bro,
video
come
game.
on. It's Sumo Slammers. It's like the most number 1 property in all of Ben 10.
Number 1 victory royale.
Yeah, Fortnite, we're about to get down.
Yeah, so he does that, and Max and Gwen just don't want to be there.
Yeah.
Gwen's very loud in this episode.
Gwen is touchy for no reason.
Yeah, I'm just like, get out of here.
I think there's something. There may have been like a rewrite or something where Ben, like, I don't know, because Ben misuses the watch. This is clear, and Gwen keeps acting like it's just desserts that Kevin is like posing as him essentially.
Yeah, essentially.
She keeps saying like, "Oh, that's ironic." Like, Ben's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get in trouble for all this stuff that I didn't do," and she goes, "That's ironic," and it's like he's not that bad.
Yeah,
He
like,
mainly
chill.
helps out people.
Yeah,
She just keeps on and on. I guess
she's
it's because
just ragging on him.
well, they set up early in the episode that she's like, "Yeah, you never take out the trash or unclog the drain or whatever,
you
whatever."
Put an empty milk bottle in the fridge.
Yeah, stuff like that, and it's like that is not
That's not nearly
the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin is killing people.
Yeah, attempted murder at the least.
At the very least, yeah. Destruction of property too.
Yeah, so they're like, we're gonna go to the library. You want anything? Or the bookstore.
Bookstore.
And Ben's like, it's summer vacation. Why would I buy a book?
Yeah, that's
Typical
valid.
Ben.
That's
Yeah.
valid.
So on their way back though, Ben's nowhere to be seen, and out pops Forearms just laying waste to the game store.
It looks as though Ben had turned into Forearms to
Yeah.
get the game early or something.
Yeah.
He was done waiting in line.
Yeah,
She even says,
tired of it.
she goes, "Do you think Ben blew a gasket?"
Yeah.
And then his Forearms wrecking shit.
Yeah, and it's like, why? You know him. He's your cousin. You think he would do that?
Plus, there's some telltale differences that you had pointed out. Like he's darker. Like I think all
Yeah.
Kevin's transformations are a shade darker.
Yeah.
And there's no Omnitrix symbol.
Yeah, no Omnitrix symbol.
If you talk to him, he has Kevin's voice.
Yeah,
there's
straight
no
up.
voice changing.
Yeah.
I mean, Stinkfly has like a little bit of a pitch shift, but it's still the guy's.
It's still Kevin's
Yeah.
voice. So, it's just it's bad. I guess that was because they didn't want to bring in all the voice actors.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, you're right. But
That's
also,
essentially what it is.
but also, like most of the aliens he used was aliens that Ben used. Like it was just Heat Blast. Well, like, he didn't use Heat. They didn't get Steve Blum in here. So I guess that's one notable voice actor that didn't come for this episode.
They are the same ones that he used. So that is
Except
true.
for maybe like Stinkfly.
Upgraded and used.
Yeah, he didn't use Upgrade, but
But
Upgrade's
Upgrade's
always
his own
his
voice.
voice anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless it was Ben's voice, then that would have
Good
been a whole
point.
other thing.
That's a good point. We see some military people show up. We are introduced to Lieutenant Steele.
Steele, what a great name.
Yeah, and they're ready to fight what we think is Ben. And Gwen runs up to him and is like, hey, doofus, what are you doing? Like, you don't need this that bad
relax.
kind of thing. Yeah. And so the guys come out with this big gun. It's so funny we commented on it. Like, they had this big, it was a 2-person gun. Like, the power source was one guy, and the other guy was, like, holding him. The guy straight up has a plus and minus battery straight up.
It's like a
on his
huge
chest.
electromagnet or something.
Yeah, and it's just, like, it's so funny because as kids, that's to signify, hey, that's a power source. You know? As a kid, we're like, oh, it's a power source. You know? But us now, we're like, okay, that's a little too on the nose.
I was like, they didn't need, like, this guy's like the butt of the joke.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, hey, new guy, you got to hold on to the...
We're the battery.
When they could easily just put that on like a cart and roll it around.
Yeah.
They don't need someone wearing it.
Yeah.
Plus, it's like you would have to like work in conjunction to like get it to go anywhere in the place.
You can tell too, Lieutenant Steele's definitely based off of like old Nick Fury.
Yeah,
The
definitely
crew
Nick
cut,
Fury.
the scar.
I kind of got a little bit of G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Just kind of like how he looks, you know.
But they look like he mentions at some point he name drops Area 51, so they're not exactly military. They're more on the fringes kind of thing.
But they're government, I think.
Yeah, they're like
they're
the
like
plumbers
the official
are.
plumbers.
Yeah, exactly. So
and Des was watching this with us, your girlfriend. She said that she's like, what? Like he doesn't know that Max is a plumber.
Yeah.
Like, what's the deal here? And I was like, that's a good point. Like, I guess the plumbers
are anonymous.
I think they're sort of secret. Yeah, but this is the special. It's called the Special Alien Containment Team.
Yeah.
So
SACT.
SACT.
Yeah, SACT.
SACT.
He gets shot. He gets pissed that he gets shot.
A concussion blast,
Yeah.
which looks just like a big laser.
Yeah, he gets shot into a pizza store, comes out with the oven,
The pizza
and
oven.
throws it.
And then it explodes a truck.
And they're just like,
And then he
okay,
goes-
we call it.
No, Kevin goes, ah, and then he jumps
jumps
away. It's like the funniest thing.
So
I love. It reminded me a lot of when Ben beats the robot in the first episode, and he just like goes, "Well, my job's done." Sprints away quick.
But Gwen comes ripping and roaring into the
rust bucket.
And you should automatically know something's off if Ben's just sitting there chill. If
Yeah.
Ben had done that, he would have been like, I can explain.
Yeah.
Trying to get out of
Yeah,
trouble.
Ben's not a bad guy. Ben's
Yeah.
kind of a bratty kid, but like
Yeah.
he's not an evil man that'll just hurt people
Yeah,
and
so,
destroy
like,
property.
It's so unwarranted.
Yeah.
And even Max is like, I'm sure he has a good explanation.
I think Gwen just wants an excuse to be mad at Ben.
Yeah, she
Whereas
doesn't
like
even need one. She's just mad at him.
I know.
She wakes up. She's like Sandy. He's like, I think I'll kick SpongeBob's butt today. She wakes up. Is like, I think I'm gonna hate on Ben today.
Yeah, that's every day of her life.
Yeah.
But Max even says like, oh, there must be a good explanation.
Yeah.
Right, Ben? And he goes, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And then he's on the TV, like just straight
But Max
up on.
is not angry at all. He's just more confused.
Yeah, he's like,
Maybe it's like dementia setting in.
no.
He's old.
Well, he gets older throughout the series, and he's arguably more competent in UAF. Like he's kind of an unstoppable beast in that show.
Yeah. He's like the guy in the background.
Yeah,
It's really sick.
Honestly, like in Ultimate Alien, like whenever like I'm thinking of the episode when Albedo like knocks everyone out except for like he tries to get to Grandpa, and Grandpa like he like doesn't take it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Grandpa gets away.
He tricks him.
It's something.
He's like, I know you're not Ben or something like that.
Well, he's got the red Omnitrix, so I know he doesn't. He knows he's not Ben, but also
his whole thing in Alien Force is where he's really sick. You never see him, but he's always doing something.
Oh yeah, no, that makes him more mysterious than anything.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what is Max doing?
I like that.
It reintroduces the mystery element that we get from the first season of this.
Yeah, and
so.
it sets up Ben and them really not having to lean on Grandpa Max as much.
Which I love because I
Yeah.
think it sets them apart as their own like heroes.
Yeah, they
and they
grow
get to
and
learn.
develop and stuff. It's really cool.
And Grandpa trusts them to do it too.
Yeah,
You know,
so sick.
oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, so he sees himself on the TV. He's like, "That's not me." He's like, "Who else would it be?" He's like, "These aren't my aliens. They're everywhere."
Yeah,
You know.
we get a call back to episode 5, Hunted.
Yeah, with
Tetrax.
yeah,
He goes,
Tetrax.
that Diamond Head guy turned out to be a good guy.
Yeah. He's like, "It's not me."
And Grandpa backs him up. He's like, yeah, these aliens probably exist everywhere.
Yeah. So Ben's like, "Okay, I'm gonna go check this out." So he goes back, and Gwen, I'm telling you, she's just annoying in this episode. The criminal always returns to the scene of the crime. I would have taken the brick he picked up, whacked her upside the head with it.
Like that little small alien in that one episode, he hits
Yeah, he
hits
just
Ripjaws.
Yeah, and the episode that just released, watch it. It'll
Well,
be two
just
weeks.
released for us, but
Oh yeah,
it's been out.
it's been out.
I'll put a
while.
little card up.
Yeah, do the card. Click it.
It's there, over there. You see it?
Well, you
It's like yonder way. I can't
put
point
it
to
way
it.
over here. Though.
I can't. It's always top left.
Oh, really?
Top right, maybe.
Interesting. Okay. Anyway, So he sees. I don't know why Kevin's just lingering.
Kevin's like,
I guess because he sees.
yeah,
he saw that.
It's kind of an unsettling shot. Kevin's just like
How
peeking
long has he
around,
been sitting there?
just
picture
like hunched
forearms,
over.
like sitting down. But what's funny is I don't think he knew that they were going to be in town. But when he saw Gwen, he was like, "Well, Ben will come back, so I'm just gonna."
That's a good point.
I'm gonna wait here. And
That's a good point.
Awesome.
I'm gonna really get him.
It could have been hours. He's just sitting there like any second now. This
Also,
is
it's hard to miss forearms.
Yeah.
Like he's really got to be hiding himself. Or I guess he
Yeah.
could turn to like gray matter until they come.
Yeah.
Notice he never turns into gray matter.
Oh, I wonder why.
Interesting.
Pretty
Yeah.
useless. He wants to be a menace, not stomped on in the next 2 seconds.
That's fair.
So Ben's like chasing him down some alleys, and he sees him, and he jumps away. And he's like, "Dang, I just saw him. What's going on?"
Yeah, he's trying to go accelerate, but I guess conveniently the watch is not really
Yeah.
giving it to him. So.
Yeah. So after that, what happens?
After that, he sees him go into the Mint.
Yes.
The U.S. Mint.
The US. Can we talk about the security in the U.S. Mint?
There's 2 security guards we see, and granted, he's heat blast at this point, so he may have fried the other like 100 that were probably there. But that's sort of the issue with a show like this. They don't want to animate too much,
Yeah, but
So-
it's the U.S. Mint.
Yeah, it's funny.
Things should be locked up tighter than Fort Knox.
It's funny just because like Grandpa and Gwen are just like normal citizens
walk in.
can just go in and see all the money getting printed and stuff.
They
Like-
could just easily grab it if they wanted
Yeah.
to.
And what's funny too, Kevin doesn't take any money.
No, he's just there to spread terror.
Yeah.
He is a terrorist.
He's there to blame Ben for acts of terrorism. He sees the guards are sitting down on the bottom of this thing, and he hits like some rafters or like some
It's a guard. It's like a rail. It's
or
like
like
a
a walkway, yeah. And then the famous pipe falling sound effect. I
Yeah.
made Steven replay it. I was like, "Do you hear that? The pipe falling sound."
I know. I thought you were talking about like the pyro effects. I was like, yeah, they're cool. What do
No,
you
it
want
was
from me?
funny pipe sound. And this is where he turns into Diamond Head, and we see Diamond Head's diamonds are stronger than Heat Blast Fire because he protects Gwen from it.
We like that.
I always wonder about this kind of stuff, but
It makes sense.
Ben's aliens never fight each other. Obviously,
It was
for obvious
interesting to
reasons.
see that in this episode because it's like, how do you fight Upgrade?
Right, exactly. And he's Wild Mutt, so he's really not.
Oh yeah,
it's like the
terrible
most
matchup.
like animalistic.
Yeah, it'd be like Mega Man versus King Dedede in Smash Bros. That is the worst matchup ever.
Maybe okay.
No, it 100% is.
No, it's not. You could suck up his digits and throw them back.
Oh, what if he can throw like multiple projectiles at a time?
I
So
know,
you
but
suck
you've
up
also got
one.
projectiles. You're just
One.
you're bad at the game.
Oh, okay. I have a whole subreddit today talking about how bad of a matchup it
No,
was.
I know. Mega Man's hard to fight in general.
He's annoying.
Mega Man and like Samus, like all the ranged ones, I really can't stand.
Rude.
Rude.
There's only like 3 good characters in there. The only 3 I played.
Yeah, that's true. So then Kevin, he goes. He's I guess they kind of get the guards out of the way, and it's just sort of Kevin and Ben fighting. He
But we get to see, dummy,
what?
Gwen gets taken down a notch 'cause she's screaming at Ben.
Oh yeah.
And Ben's like, hey, Gwen, that's not me. And she was like, oh no. Yeah, eat
Oh
it, Gwen.
my god!
You idiot.
And there's also a little bit. I know they didn't mean to do this, and it just happened by coincidence like this.
Yeah.
But Gwen's like, it's like, who is that? And then he's like, I'm a hottie, can't you tell?
Yeah.
And like they end up dating later, so maybe he's a little bit smidgen like hitting on her a little
We're
bit.
done with all the ships.
No. He's canonically dating Gwen.
I know that. I've seen the show.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's kind of a funny little coincidence that they went that route with it in the later shows.
Yeah.
And there's like a little hint of it here. It's not like very overt. You have to like really be paying attention to see it.
But
But
you really have to dig in to see it.
I'm just digging in. I'm saying
Yeah.
it's funny in retrospect that he's calling himself hot around her, trying to like flirt with her a little bit.
I don't think he's flirting. He's straight up just saying he's a hottie. He's on fire.
I think he's trying to like.
he is on fire.
Well, that's the joke with Heat Blast. He's always like, I'm hot. You know. It's,
Exactly. So there's no flirting involved.
I think there's a hint of flirting. I think you have to really dig to find
Who is
it.
flirting with that annoying Gwen?
He is.
He's not.
He what are you talking about? He's all into her in the next show.
Yeah, the next one, she's bearable.
She's bearable now.
She is not.
Kevin thinks she is.
No, he doesn't.
No, he calls her like a
He
loudmouth
literally tries
cousin
to
or something.
light her up in
Light
2
her up.
seconds.
He called her. He's like, you gonna tell me to your grandpa, your loudmouth cousin?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he doesn't like her.
I think it's a little.
There was no
playful,
flirting
playful
in the making
ribbing.
of this video.
Yeah, no.
I'm not even talking about us. I'm just talking about the show.
The making of this video.
That video, not this video. We're definitely flirting.
Yeah, all the time. Anyway, so Heat Blast and Kevin's Heat Blast and
Yeah. Ben's
Diamond Head are
It's gonna get
fighting,
confusing here.
and
in a
they
second.
he like shoots a bunch of nickels down on top of, which
Which hurts him?
the fire doesn't stop him, but the nickels knock him down. I don't know.
Well, it's kind of like we were talking about a bunch of comparisons to Spider-Man 2, is when Doc Ock is throwing bags of pennies at Spider-Man. He finally hits him. He goes, ha! Ah!
I love that.
He's throwing them and he's dodging, and then he hits him and goes, ha! Ha! So they gotta hurt a little bit.
I guess so. Spider-Man gets taken out, but Spider-Man's not got defenses like Diamond Head. Like Diamond Head's got like
he's made of diamond,
maxed out defense. I feel like.
Yeah.
Anyway,
except for like a drill bit.
I don't know who's got more defense.
Like a pickaxe.
Who do you think has more defense, Cannonbolt or Diamond Head?
Oh, Cannonbolt for sure. Dog.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Even though Diamond Head's made out of diamonds.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's funny? Those are the two most like defensive species I feel like in the Watch, and they both get extinct. Like they both get wiped.
Isn't that wild?
What's happening? How is that possible?
Well, you could take a hammer to Diamond Head. He
shatters.
Guess. You know, he's crystal. He's probably not that durable at all.
What's his name? Brings them all back. Like Chromostone brings them all back.
Yeah, which is cool.
That's cool.
Sick.
He's like the Jesus of the Petro Sapiens.
Yeah. Lieutenant Steele and all his posse are coming in trying to shoot both of them too. And he's like, I'm the good alien. The bad alien just flew away. And they're like, okay.
You get to see him change too. Like that's another.
It's creepy. So it turns out Kevin had absorbed the powers of the Watch. Last episode we saw him.
Yeah, I mean he like the last time we see him, he's got the heat blast fire.
Yeah, and it's like a reverse Ben where he can only be himself a little bit of the time, and the rest of the time he's aliens.
But he can transform whenever, so he's got the upper hand.
It's cool, but at the same time, sometimes you just want to be you to go into Walmart and get you a Slim Jim. You know?
He could be Ghost Freak and just steal a Slim Jim. He's a criminal. He's a criminal fan.
Yeah.
He's just a dirty old criminal.
And you're an adventurer fan.
I'm the sexiest adventurer out there, fan.
Tree Trunks, get out of here this episode.
Yeah, Tree Trunks is my favorite one.
She is awesome.
So this is big. This is huge for Kevin.
Yeah.
Like, and frankly, like he could be doing any other thing with his time.
He could actually be stealing the money.
He could be. But again, he's kind of a freak now. Like I think he's more self-conscious than anybody is.
Oh yeah,
because he's always like, there's a line later when he's like, "You're doing all this stuff to hurt me. Like you're putting all these people in harm's way." And he's like, well, they're just those people aren't innocent. Like they just haven't made fun of me yet.
Yeah,
like,
they haven't had a chance to make fun of me. It's like,
get over it, bro.
What a complex you have.
Oh my God, shut up.
I mean, he is 11 though. Let's cut him a little bit.
Let's cut him some slack.
Not really. He's a deranged lunatic.
Yeah.
Shoot him in the head.
His parents didn't even want him.
Take him out. Take him out back like Old Yeller.
Put 2 in the head.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Anyway.
Yeah. So Lieutenant Steele comes in. Kevin's gone.
Oh, they do a little chase. Away. Yeah, he turns into Stick Fly and flies out of there.
Yeah, and Steele's like, I don't care, son. You're going to jail.
He's like, and Gwen and Grandpa are like, I think Gwen's like, he's telling the truth.
Yeah.
He's a good one. And then at that point,
I'd be like, first of all, how did you get in here?
Yeah. At that point, I'd be like, how do you know this guy?
Yeah.
Why are you sticking up for this alien?
Yeah. What?
And you could make the point of like, she just was in there and they saw it happen. Maybe.
You're not allowed in the U.S. Mint.
Yeah. Even Ben later, he's like in a crash pile of money or something.
Yes.
It's like, what are y'all doing here?
You're not allowed in there.
Anyway, but they do this. It's like this really interesting sequence, you would call it, where Ben kind of runs away from him as Diamond Head, and he runs up into the walkway up at the top, and his Omnitrix is flashing red, and it's like normally it's like me, like he's done.
Yeah.
And this was like me.
It just kept beeping. It did it in the same. It did it in the last Kevin episode where he had to fight Kevin.
As
you
forearms.
Yeah.
And he was like, "No, I gotta hold on."
It goes all medieval on his ass.
Maybe the Omnitrix can sense that he's sort of got.
He's like, "This is a warning,
extra time.
but
yeah, we give you a little leeway here."
Or you could just not turn off. How about that one?
Just give me master control.
Yeah,
that'd be better.
So Ben drops down and he does the big red flash, and they find Ben, not the alien.
Yeah,
He's like,
Ben.
is the big scary monster gone?
Ben takes it upon himself to ruin a cash printing machine.
Yeah.
And he's just in the wreckage as Ben.
Yeah, that's why our inflation's so high.
Freaking Ben blowing up our money printers.
Gosh.
So yeah, he's playing the bit. He's like, and he does like a little smile whenever they believe him. He's like, and Lieutenant Steele's asking them what they know and what they're doing there, and they're like, "Oh, it's wrong place, wrong time, I guess."
Yeah. And he's like, follow them.
And he goes, "What's up with that watch? I've never seen that before." And he's like, "It's Japanese,
made in Japan." Yeah. You know Godzilla.
Anyway, so then they go back to the rust bucket and
who wins, Ben or Godzilla?
Depends if Ben can scan Godzilla and turn into him.
Godzilla's not an alien.
Well, he can scan species and turn into him.
That's true.
The problem is
Godzilla versus way big.
Probably Godzilla.
I don't know. Way Big's got the.
Ultimate Way Big does nothing that one episode. You remember?
Yeah, he just turns into it. Yeah.
I think the guy who did UAF said that Ben could turn into the Dagon. He could unlock the Dagon as like a transformation. So, could the Dagon beat Godzilla? Maybe.
I want Ultimate Spider Monkey to fight him. That would be Kong versus Godzilla.
It would like smush him.
Could you imagine Raph?
Let me tell you something, Godzilla. Nobody steps on my town.
I would love that interaction.
That would be awesome. No, there's a whole thing about Godzilla and not Godzilla specifically, but like radiated creatures. Yeah. Because if you remember in UAF, he scans the DNA aliens, and they're sort of mutated. They mutate with the DNA of the host that they suck onto. So Ben can cure those, but I don't think he can turn into like a parasitic. Yeah. Like he couldn't turn into the DNA aliens, for example. Yeah. So I don't know if Godzilla's too radiated to become like a transformation. He could turn into the version of Godzilla that was pre-radiation, like the dinosaur that got radiated. I don't know. There's a comic too where Godzilla goes to hell and he's just like the most, like he becomes a god. Like he's just there's no stopping that version of God from whatever powerful alien you pick. That's awesome. But Godzilla is famously OP. Like he's only died maybe once in like his 90 years of tenure. So I
love Godzilla.
He's pretty good.
Sick.
Anyway, so they go back to the rust bucket and they're looking through because Lieutenant. Yeah. He says, it's like, oh, Fresno and California and all these different places, whatever. You gave me so much trouble. Like all your alien buddies. I guess he still thinks it's separate people. And he sees the whole thing at the end, so he knows Kevin's all of them. Yeah. I guess that kind of wraps it up for him. But he's essentially blaming Ben for all the different stuff that Kevin's done. And we get to see this picture of like Ripjaw's robbing a bank. Yeah. And it's one of the funniest pictures because it's like, what? Like, why did he pick Ripjaw's? Yeah. He can't breathe. Like, it's just a bank. Like,
he probably didn't realize. He probably went Ripjaw's. Oh, that guy's cool. And then 5 minutes later, he's like, getting hard to breathe in here. Ooh. He's like SpongeBob. He's like, I don't need it. He's like looking around like, what is this place?
So then they see a runaway like subway cart thing. What would you call that? Like a rail?
Yeah, it's a rail car.
Rail car. And upgraded it. Yeah. Kevin's upgraded it.
And he's trashing the place. He's breaking the brakes. Yeah.
It was very much like Spider-Man 2 whenever Doc Ock's tentacles grabbed the little like lever and throw it out the window. Like shot for shot, same thing. Yeah, same thing. He even makes tentacles out of upgrade.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. Ugh. So Ben's trying to go upgrade again, I guess, to kind of upgrade battle it out. I don't know what would happen if two
yeah, I don't know why he would think upgrade, but again, what else do you do?
Yeah, gray matter.
I think with his new aliens, he'd be like Ghost Freak, or not Ghost Freak, Big Chill.
Big Chill could work. Yeah, could just freeze the track. Yeah, freeze the wheels maybe.
He could be like Heat Blast and melt the pavement so that he can't keep going.
That's fair. Yeah, that would have worked. Stinkfly could goo it up always. Yeah, I always say don't underestimate the goo.
Make a wall barrier.
That's pretty good. But that would, if they slammed into it, it would kill all the people on
No, they weren't going fast enough. He could make it like a gradual one.
I guess so. He could just like put diamonds around the wheel so it wouldn't go as fast.
So a lot of good things. He couldn't fight one-on-one with Upgrade. I don't know how you fight Upgrade, but
electromagnetic fields.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's in Omniverse.
Gotcha.
There's a moment where like Ben's watch freaks out. I mean, the watch freaks out all the time, but it turns a bunch of prisoners. They're in the plumber headquarters, and like for some reason they shock it or something, and it, like all this Omnitrix energy goes out and like turns the prisoners into different transformations. Oh. And one of them turns into like an upgrade, and he's like Ben's like stuck as this really crappy alien that can't do much, and he's like
was it gray matter?
No, he's called like the Worst. I don't think they ever give him a name.
Oh, aptly named.
He's like, this guy's the worst, and they're like, okay, that works. Like that number works, I guess. But he's basically like his role in that episode is to be like telling people like what to do, like how to beat the aliens. And at one point he's like telling them to use an electromagnetic field on Upgrade because I guess he's just living metal, so it would probably mess with the circuitry and stuff.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't think Ben knows that. If he had Lodestar, that might have worked.
Yeah, Lodestar's a cool one.
He is pretty cool.
He's not used a lot. He's used like twice.
I know. A lot of the Ultimate Alien like unlocks don't get very much love. Yeah. I think they should get more.
They really should.
Anyway.
But yeah, so Ben accidentally turns into none of those and instead turns into Wild Mutt.
Wild Mutt.
So he gets in there and he's just like,
Well, what do I do?
I'm here.
He like jumps up on there, like Kevin makes some spikes come out of the top of the rail car, and at that point it's like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
what do you even like? You just start swiping at the wall. Like, what do you?
We also see Lieutenant Steele's men had been watching the RV.
Oh,
and
right.
They saw Ripjaw's Wild Mutt get out of there, and they're like, "Sir, an alien wild dog just jumped out of their van.
A big orange dog with no eyeballs came out of there.
What do we do?" They said it so like matter of fact, you know. And
it's a funny line.
Yeah. So then Ben's like trying to fight Kevin. Kevin throws a bench at him.
Yeah.
He goes, "Okay, hero neutralized. These guys are about to take a dip. I'm out of here." And he turns and Stinkfly flies away.
He loves turning into Stinkfly.
So then Grandpa Max is coming down, dude.
There's a moment where he tells Ben to put like a rope around the subway car to like slow it down.
This is definitely longer than the original.
Yeah, it probably needs to be longer to hold all the little toys in there. The little Wild Mutt. He asked Wild Mutt to put like a little rope around the
RV, the rest bucket.
Yeah, and that way they can slow down. And I kind of thought he pushes a button, and for a split second I was like, "Is the awning coming back?"
Yeah, let's go. The awning made an appearance, dude.
It didn't, sadly.
Oh yeah, no, but he shoots a hook out of the back of his RV.
Yeah, like a grapple hook.
Grapples into like a concrete wall,
yep.
Which makes sense from that side. But at the same time, how doesn't the force just rip off the bumper in the back end? You know,
it's alien certified. It's
got you.
It's reinforced.
It's built tough.
It's built for tough.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's a fun scene. All the people are like cheering for him. And it makes you feel good that at least like some people are okay. Like they didn't get injured horribly. And then at this point, this is when he like hides, and then he turns back into Ben.
Yeah.
And then Lieutenant Steele and all them find him whenever he turns back into a person.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What's this watch? What's the deal?"
No. He's first of all, he's committing war crimes.
Yeah.
He straight up pulls a gun on an old man and 2 children.
Yep.
How many times have we seen people just pulling guns on children?
I mean, in this show, it's frequent, but
it's frequent. A lot more. It's like if I had a nickel for every time this happened. So he's like, "Don't move or you're all Swiss cheese."
I love that.
He literally says, "I'm going to fill you full of holes if you move."
And then he says, he's like, you got 2 options. Either tell me what you know, or you start sizing yourself up for prison uniforms.
And it's like, sir, what? That's a 10-year-old.
You can't put those 2 10-year-olds in jail.
Well, like
Max, maybe.
Maybe he's probably committed a few war
At the
crimes.
very least, call DPS or DC. What?
DPS?
Department of Child Protection Services.
I don't. DPS is DPS. That's damage.
Oh,
for like,
damage per second.
Yeah, it's like a DPS.
He
checkpoint
poisons
in a
Uncle
video
Max
game.
or Grandpa Max.
Yeah, so he's saying that. I just love. It's such a hard line. Don't move, or you're gonna be Swiss cheese.
Yes, sir. You got it.
I like Swiss cheese.
So you start moving around extra hard.
Like,
I want to eat my hand. I want to eat myself. He just doesn't get the reference.
So they're like asking him, and he's like, "What's it? It's got something to do with his watch, huh? Is it how you call them in? Is that how you radio the beings?"
And then he gets the call that Kevin's
messing up the
Golden Gate Bridge,
dude.
Yeah, just like Magneto and X-Men 3.
I watched that recently.
Good? Hold up?
I love it.
I remember liking it. I haven't seen it in a long
time. I know
time.
it's like the hated of the 3. It's not the strongest.
Compared to the worst ones in that series, though, it's not that bad.
It's not bad at all.
Like X-Men Origins and like Dark Phoenix, it's not that bad.
Yeah, and the fucking Apocalypse.
Oh, Apocalypse is real bad. Yeah.
All of those are way worse than X-Men 3.
But
X-Men 3 is so good, Hopper.
I like a lot. I like the Angel guy.
It's got Halle Berry in it.
Beast is pretty good in it.
I love Halle Berry. Real
I
talk.
do too.
That was a thing in Rush Hour.
Oh yeah. He's like, say that again about Halle Berry.
I'll kill you right here.
Anyway, so Kevin is Diamond Head this time around.
Yep.
He's blowing up like cables on the Golden Gate Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And I wondered like how strong are those things? They're probably pretty strong, right?
Really strong. I mean, they're holding the bridge up.
So Diamond Head's got to have some juice.
The juice.
But like, and we can talk about this a little bit too. Like later on, they introduce the element that all Kevin's powers are 1/10 the power of Ben's.
Yeah, because it becomes an amalgamation of them.
Right. So he's not as power like the Diamond Head powers are specifically 1/10 as powerful as Ben's Diamond Head
Only in
powers.
his amalgamation form.
Right. I guess so. Right.
Yeah, not when he's full.
There's no way the 10th of Diamond Head strength could break the cables.
No.
Anyway, so Lieutenant Steele shows up and he's got he's loaded.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who, Lieutenant Steele? He's not loaded at all.
Okay, Lieutenant Steele has got the
Yacht.
He's got the gat.
No, he lands there and he's like, I'm gonna go toe to toe with this guy. Gets beat to a
He just
pulp.
pulls like a knife, like he can't do
he's
anything.
Like, but
he gets beat. He gets like knocked onto
he's all bruised
cable.
and bloody and stuff.
He's got like a black eyes.
Yeah, the big
cheeks all
cheek.
swollen. Yeah.
What do you think you're gonna do?
I don't know. But then we get Ben showing up.
Oh, what a cool move, or what a cool stance he's in,
dude. It's like a Ninja Turtles pose almost.
Yeah.
He's like kind of in the
Spider-Man.
shadow,
Yeah.
Spider-Man. He's sort of like Kevin's sort of playing with him. He's like, "Oh, you gonna try to rehabilitate me again, Benji?" Is what he calls
and he's all serious. He's like, "No,
you've had your chance.
I'm taking you to Pound Town, but not the good one,
not the one that Will was probably
shipping us with."
Anyway,
super epic fight,
dude. I mean,
really
like
nice.
one of the I like to this point, like maybe some of the Vilgax fights better, but like this is more even, I think.
Yeah.
Because he keeps transforming.
Just powerhouses fighting each
other. It's like Diamond Head fighting Forearms. I kind of wondered about who's stronger in that regard. Then you get Heat Blast and Forearms, the two most iconic, in my opinion, fighting. And then he turns into Stinkfly when he gets like thrown up in the air. And then he gets like,
it's his time to be human.
Yeah, I guess he just kind of overexerts himself.
Yeah.
And that was like his cosmic chance to be like, okay, you're done.
Yeah.
And you're a boy again.
Yeah.
So like you wanted this.
Yeah,
remember you wanted
easy.
this.
Yeah.
You blamed Ben for turning you into like a freak that can't transform back to a person.
It's only your fault. Yeah.
It's only your fault. A, B, you're a person again.
And 3, you're a head.
Yeah. Well, that's the moment of no return. He's a person again.
Yeah.
And then he forces it, right?
Yeah.
And that's when he can't take it and his body just mutates.
Because like Ben's at this point he's like, you're not worth my time. I'm gonna walk away.
Dude, oh my! He goes to punch like little boy Kevin.
Yeah.
And he hits right beside him.
Gonna cry.
Gonna cry.
Little Gobby Jr.
And then Kevin, he's walking away. He's like, fight me, come on, Ben. And Ben's a massive alien who could easily beat him.
Yeah.
He goes, you're not worth it. You never were.
Damn.
Oh,
so
pisses him off.
Yeah, Kevin loses his shit. I don't know if he had like a plan or if he was just like, I'm changing into something, beat him up.
I think he was probably just trying to go for something.
But he was unstable, didn't know what he was really doing, and so his body freaked out, and he became the amalgamated.
Dude, it's
Kevin
such a cool form.
Throw the form up there.
I'll throw it up
right there. Boom. Look at it. Insane. So it's super sick. He's got like pretty much everything. He's got the 4 arms, but each of them are different. You've got a Diamond Head arm, a Heat Blast arm,
2 Wild Mud arms.
Yeah. You've got Accelerates tail.
You've got normal boy shorts.
Yeah. You've got
nothing too spectacular with his legs. I guess that's just forearm legs. Yeah.
But then the chest is Ghost Freak.
Oh yeah, it's got like a scar across the chest, and they never really use his Ghost Freak.
Yeah.
He mentions using Ghost Freak like whenever he's
go like face through stuff.
Well, he mentions they mentioned Ghost Freak when they're like, oh, look at all these alien sightings that weren't me.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, he went Ghost Freak to rob a bank or something. He said something like that.
It was a Barstow.
Barstow. And that makes me think this is potentially where Kevin loses his marbles a bit.
Yeah.
I think Ghost Freak's DNA is kind of doing more damage.
But
if you go by UAF standards, Osmosians can't absorb too much energy without going crazy anyway.
Yeah, so...
Anyway, he's got Dongle from
Rip Jaws.
Rip Jaws. He's got like a back of upgrade, which how are you supposed to use that?
I don't know.
He never really uses upgrade. Yeah. He only ever uses Diamond Head, Heat Blast, Forearms, Stinkfly. He uses Accelerate a little bit, but not as much as I would be using.
I mean, guess what? He's got the Eye of Gray Matter. Doesn't use that at all.
He's the dumbest character that there could be. Like in the
just brings him to average intelligence.
I guess so. Well, like in the episode when they're fighting on the Coliseum thing.
That's like in like 2 episodes, by the way.
I know. I'm so excited. But yeah, you never really see him do any kind of gray matter feats. I guess. I don't know. He's got 2 eyeballs from forearms.
And then Stinkfly wings.
Stinkfly wings. He flies. I guess he flies a good bit. He can spit Stinkfly goo, I think.
Yeah. So he just really cool animation.
It's the perfect balance to Ben, who can only be one at a time.
Yeah.
He's all of them, but he's also a freak, and he can't be. It makes him villainous. It's like Angstrom Levy from Levi.
Angstrom Levi, I believe. From Invincible. Oh, I'm so ready for the next 4 episodes.
He blames Mark for his accident, and this is the same thing with Kevin. Like he blames. He's got Ripjaw's mouth.
Yeah.
And maybe Ripjaw's skills.
He's always looking for someone else to blame,
Yeah. I mean, really, like, if he just calmed down and chilled, like he does in UAF, like, he would be so much more bearable.
Well, he had a father, he needed a father-like figure.
Yeah, that's true.
That boy needs a dad.
That boy needs a daddy. I'll be your daddy, Kim.
Give him a little whooping every now and then.
But yeah, as far as like normal powers he always uses, it's like Diamond Head shards or Heat Blast fire.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing really wild mud about his abilities. I guess he can do acrobatic. He's got wings.
He doesn't get Cannon Bolt. So
he doesn't get
no
cannonball.
dolphin skin anywhere.
That's a yeah. No, thankfully, no
He could have like
skin.
knee pads.
Yeah. Well, he wouldn't in the
Of
watch.
the orange.
Yeah.
He
guess
wasn't
could,
in the watch when he absorbed.
Yeah,
it.
I guess he could like do like you know how sometimes what are they called? Those people who do like roller derbies or whatever,
Yeah.
and they're like they get on the knee pads and like slide around.
Mm-hmm.
He could be doing that
He could be
with accelerate speed.
Yeah.
That might be deadly, honestly. Like he does like
Maybe just sitting on you be pretty deadly.
He's a pretty big boy.
Yeah, big boy.
He does like a Captain Falcon knee and like
Yeah.
the cannonbolt knee pad just takes him out.
Break your jaw.
He honestly, if Ben had this amalgam form, he would be so much more effective because he knows like to use all the powers.
I mean,
in
Ben's the one that
conjunction.
teaches him how to use them in conjunction, which is a really good episode. Stay tuned for that.
It is.
But yeah, so he turns into this and he's like, look what you made me do. And he's like, man, is there anything I'm not going to get blamed for today? So Kevin like picks him up, throws him off the edge, and Ben's like hanging
He's
off.
kind of this is like the fight turns towards Kevin.
Yeah.
You know,
And Kevin's up there just,
boasting,
monologuing, boasting,
Caught me monologuing.
And that's what you see Lieutenant Steele. He's been lining up the shop and been holding it to see how things play out because he's like, oh, maybe I was wrong, And at this point, he's made up his mind. He goes, okay, shoot the big freak. That one right there.
Shoot
him.
the uglier one.
Yeah,
I know they're both pretty ugly.
Shoot
the
that
uglier one.
So he shoots Kevin, and he falls down. And they're like, not even Kevin could have survived that fall.
He's 1/10 fish, Gwen.
Yeah.
He can
Once
survive.
Again, Gwen's saying some dumb.
He can breathe water.
Bring that switch back out for him. But
they never really do anything with that, but he definitely could breathe water, right?
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But so Lieutenant Steele looks at him and goes,
What if his feet merge together like a big red tail when he goes in the water?
wild.
It should show something like that. I would love it.
So so Lieutenant Steele is looking at Ben now, and Ben's like, so are we good? We cool?
He's like, are we cool?
Cool.
And he goes for like a little fist bump.
2 of them.
4 of them.
But so
Lieutenant Steele's like,
yeah,
we got our alien.
we got ours, let him go.
Which technically is a mutant right now.
Shut up. Please.
Okay, if you go by
Don't talk to me.
if you go by UAF expanded lore, he is an alien.
Yeah,
So-
which we are going with.
It all works out.
So anyway, so they're wrapping up. They're driving away, and Lieutenant Steele pulls over the RV. He goes, kind of weird. You guys are always here when these alien freaks show up.
And then he shoots him into Swiss cheese.
Grandma's like, oh, that's kind of weird.
Uh-huh.
They could at least pretend, They're
Yeah.
so obviously, like, guilty,
Yeah.
They could easily be like, oh, yeah, that is weird. Like, oh, there was an alien up there. We were so scared.
We thought that was like a, like
yeah,
some
we're
sort
on a
of
road
monster.
trip, so that kind of makes sense that we're where they are. you
Yeah,
know?
I mean, like we're across the
Anything.
country, so like, and all this stuff's been happening. But we weren't in Fresno when Ghost Freak attacked, so
Yeah. Barstow.
Barstow. Fresno was something else.
No.
Fresno was mentioned.
It was Tallahassee, Chicago, and Barstow.
Fresno.
There was only 3.
Okay, I think that I'll
Okay,
pull it
editor
up.
will tell you you're wrong.
Chicago, Tallahassee, Barstow.
Okay.
I can't wait to see this when
I
I watch this
remember.
video.
I remember Fresno
cannot
so
wait.
specifically.
You're thinking of Monsters versus Aliens.
Fresno? No, I'm
Yes.
not. I never think about Monsters versus Aliens.
Well, that's your problem.
I actively block it in my memory, except for the part where Bob is jiggling the Jello.
Yeah, so they're like, oh, it's weird, and they just drive off. And
I'm
then-
assuming they're keeping tabs on him.
Yeah, most likely.
Lieutenant Steele,
Yeah.
because they come back in Omniverse later on.
Yeah, we don't see him for the rest of the series.
No, not this season.
And he's
series,
like, we'll
not
be
even
in
UAF.
touch or something like that.
Actually, I think he's in a dream sequence or something.
Yeah, but that's not real.
It's like the 3rd or 4th season. He's
It's
like,
not real.
what?
It's
like
a dream sequence.
what is the context for that?
I think it's the Forever Nights episode, isn't it?
Yes, it's when they're working on the Omnitrix and they put him asleep.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's that episode. Anyway, Kevin comes back in that too. He's like a little scary old
Yeah.
monster.
Yeah, so they drive off into the sunset, and then you pan down to the water, and you see
Bubbles.
bubbles.
The bubbles.
The bubbles.
So I don't know.
So Kevin may make a reappearance.
I mean,
Not too long from now, honestly.
Yeah, don't look 2 episodes in the future. Honestly, if you're looking at canon, because the Gwen 10 episode's not canon,
Yeah, it's literally the
it's
next
the next
episode.
thing Ben happens to Ben. Yeah,
That is wild, actually.
I remember whenever I rewatched this, because obviously I didn't watch these like super in order as a kid
Yeah.
because they just came
Oh,
on
no,
whenever.
yeah, they just came on whatever.
But
What was continuity back then? We didn't know.
I mean, we get vague continuations. Like you have to see the first episode that Kevin was in to get this episode, but not really. I mean, they tell you what goes on.
Well, I just remember sometimes I'd watch a TV show, and it would be a previous episode from what I'd seen, and I'm like, I don't, like Static Shock was a big one. I'm like, he's already, like, his dad already knows. What are you talking about? Why is he? Because I didn't understand,
I remember seeing like American. No, it was Danny Phantom.
Yeah.
And his sister knew he was a ghost, and I was like, how does she know he's a ghost?
Yeah.
Like I was so
when
confused.
did that happen?
What's happening right now?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're just dumb children.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
I give this episode
Give it an 8.
8. Yeah, I was gonna say 8.
Pretty solid.
Pretty
got
solid.
Some action. Got some Kevin. He's a really good foil for Ben.
There's
really
a little
good
bit of mystery. I think he's the perfect foil. I mean, Vilgax is great, but Vilgax is not like personal to Ben.
Yeah.
This is all like, and like Ben thinks they were friends before, so there's like the whole like he kind of betrayed him a little bit. He even mentions in this episode he's like 50-50. I do the crime and you do the time.
Yeah, he's like, remember, partner?
Also, like, Kevin, buddy, no one knows Ben is these aliens.
Yeah.
You're framing a guy who no one knows is the aliens.
Again, he's stupid.
You could maybe, there's like,
He's dumber than Ben.
He's pretty dumb. He's even got the gray matter intelligence, too,
Yeah.
and he doesn't use it. But he, he's just trying anything he can, I guess.
But yeah, that pretty much wraps up this episode. Stay tuned. We got another one coming out next week. It'll be the what if on what happens when Gwen gets the Omnitrix. Well,
Bye-bye.
we'll see y'all later.